Hi, people. So I am doing one on questioning my sanity as I go through this gender exploration. Uh, in a way, I don't want to make this video because I feel like I'm giving ammunition to the people who hate me, right? And this might be people who don't even know me. But I'm having a beer while I talk, if you don't mind. It was left over from 2 days ago. I opened it 2 days ago, started to drink it, but then never finished it. I can only drink about 3 of these, but I bought 4, and I guess 3 is my number, right? I took like maybe 2 or 3 sips out of this one, and then just was like, nope, I can't drink anymore. This is a real man's beer. If Bud Light wants to sponsor Dylan Mulvaney, then Steel Reserve, 211, Steel Reserve. I don't know why you stopped selling the black one. I guess I don't know what you call that. The full body. This is the light, but this is all they sell now at the gas stations around here. I don't know if the other one was just too strong for people, but this is the most. If you go to a gas station to buy beer and you want a real man's beer, you buy this one. Don't buy Bud Light. Maybe I should do that as my ad. I should just make my own ad for 211 Steel Reserve. But they might be like, "No, thank you. No, thank you. We don't want you. We don't want you endorsing our product." I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm saying it's for real men." Oh. Questioning my sanity. Like I said, this is a problem for me. I feel reluctant to talk about this in the open because there are people who already believe that trans are delusional, and one of the problems that I have with that claim that trans are just delusional is that it's primarily focused on the claim that a man can be a woman, or that a man can identify as a woman, or that identifying as a woman makes a man a woman, and these sorts of things, which is a totally separate issue from the behavior, right? But people seem to think, the people who are making this claim seem to have this idea, because you see that they have a problem with the behavior itself, but they don't have an argument against the behavior. They only have an argument against what you might call the ideology. Because I don't have to claim to be a woman to dress as a woman. I can wear wigs and makeup and women's clothing without claiming to be a woman. But they seem to have this idea that if they can refute the claim that a man can be a woman, that means that they can then, stop the behavior. Because if you look at someone like I've watched Matt Walsh's shows, I've seen him try to like debunk the transgender ideology. But then if you watch him, like he did a rant against Dylan Mulvaney a few days ago, where it was clear that the problem wasn't just the claim that he's a woman, but it was how he was acting. He's basically saying that nobody respects you because of how you're acting and this sort of thing. You need to, basically what he was saying is you need to act like a real man. And so this is where I have a problem with that, right? Because there is a difference between the behavior and the ideology, and apparently what a lot of the people who are opposed to trans have a problem with is not the claim that a man can be a woman, it's men acting like women that they have a problem with. But they don't have an argument against that, right? But still, that being said, for a lot of trans, or for myself, what I'm going through, it does so happen that a lot of trans are diagnosed with other, what you might call comorbid mental illnesses. I've never been actually diagnosed. Like when I say actually, I mean like never. I've been tentatively diagnosed by several psychologists as having borderline personality disorder. Two of the psychologists I've seen like five psychologists in my life through the Veterans Administration, the VA, and two of them, at least two of them, gave me a diagnosis, a tentative diagnosis of. When I say tentative, I mean they're not sure, right? Of borderline personality disorder. And borderline personality disorder, basically, for the purposes of this talk, I guess I could just say that it kind of it implies or denotes a person being kind of out of touch with their true self, with their emotional state, someone who needs validation from other people constantly because they have kind of disconnected uh, their own internal impulse, their own drives, and this sort of thing. And for me, this was an easy diagnosis to accept when I heard that, because I was like, yeah, I feel like I don't know who I am. I feel like I don't know what I want. I feel like I need validation from other people constantly, and I'm afraid of abandonment and all these other sorts of things that come with borderline personality disorder. I'm not terrified of abandonment because, I live by myself. I've been living by myself for a long time. Uh, it's a worthwhile question to ask why. Why do I live by myself? I don't really know the answer to that. All I know is that I like solitude, so maybe borderline personality disorder is not. Maybe that's why they're like, yeah, we're not sure. Uh, but that is where this whole thing of feeling like I don't know who I am is a lot of where the questioning my sanity comes in. Uh, the feeling that I was like in a prison, or I used to write poems and stuff, and I would write things about like being in a prison, being in a locked in a basement, things like that. One poem I wrote was, alone in a dungeon, I scrape my name into the wall. 1,000 names around, but mine stands out from them all. That was, what is the dungeon in that case? I'm talking about being kind of in my own head, right? I'm not free, but I'm a prisoner of like my own mind. And my I'm kind of obsessed with my name, is what I was writing in the poem, that I'm scraping my name into the wall because I want people to know me. And there's 1,000 names around my name because the prison is my own mind, and the names that are around mine are the people in my own life. And I want my name to be known, so my name stands out from all the other names. But the prison is my own mind, so really, it's only in my own mind that my name is standing out. Uh, but that's how I felt for most of my life. Was like I was in some kind of prison, and I don't think it's a coincidence that I felt that way and that I live alone. I'm not saying that I want to live with other people. I do have a desire to live with other people. I'll put it that way. Uh, maybe living alone is the best thing for me at the moment. Uh, but the feeling of being in a prison is not why I question my sanity. It is more like I'm trying to get out of my prison, and I see the transgender behavior as a way to do that, or a possible way out. And that is because I have these experiences sometimes, not all the time, where I see myself as a woman and I feel like I'm looking at the real me. I feel like I'm looking at someone who does not have to act like an actor in every social situation, which is how I felt as a man, which is one of the reasons why I felt like I was in a prison, because I felt like I was basically an actor on a stage who had to pretend to be somebody just in order to get people to like him. uh, and so uh, what I see when I see like this real version of myself comes in just glimpses. Like it'll be like I'll see it and I'll be like, wait a minute, I think I'm a girl. And I see what I see is someone who is there's nothing wrong with this person. They're totally presentable. Uh, and that is part of what makes it feel real. Is it feels like I can show this person that I see, it can be is presentable to anybody, and they can't. There's no attack that can be made against this person that would damage it or wash it away or any of that stuff. But the other me, the me that I live as on a constant basis, is easily attacked. You know, you can look at me funny, and I'm just like, you know, I collapse. Uh, Not completely, you know, but it is very much that image of me is one that I feel the need to protect, you might say, and therefore I live by myself. This maybe I just answered my own question. Uh, so, uh, but then there are those times when I'm thinking, like I woke up this morning and I'm laying in bed and I thought, am I a woman? Am I not a woman? What, you know, like what is going on? I woke up this morning and fell back asleep, and after I fell back asleep, I had a dream about a woman who was a physical trainer, and in the dream she was working with a male client, and I was a little bit puzzled by the dream because I didn't know what, you know, who am I dreaming about here? Why am I dreaming about this woman? And then the thought came to me that that was me. I was the female physical trainer in the dream, and then I woke up again shortly after that, and but I was like, "Is that me? Am I just making this up? Am I, you know?" The dream didn't say this is you, you know, but you know, and then I wake up, you know, and I'm going through this, and I'm thinking, mate, you know, and I start thinking about like if I had been born female, like what would I do? Would I take different jobs than what I've taken in the past? Uh, would I want to be a physical trainer? Being a physical trainer is not a job I've ever looked at and thought I want to do that, you know. But how many jobs have I looked at and thought never considered taking because I don't see myself as you know, I don't want to say I don't see myself as a woman, but I don't, you know, I don't see myself as a woman. I'm trying to be careful because I'm constantly have it in mind that some hater is going to be watching this saying, "Oh, he said he's not a woman." Uh, you're not. There's no such thing as trans. If you're not a woman, you're not trans. Uh, But uh, but yeah, I there have been quite a few times where it gets frustrating when I go through that, where I'll have this experience where I think that I'm trans. I feel like it's obvious that I'm trans, but then maybe the next day, maybe the same day, I see myself as a man. I have this image of myself as a man, and I think, yeah, that that fits, you know. Uh, and there is this back and forth that drives me nuts, and it does make me question, like my sanity. The fact that there is no clear image, the fact that I can't have one image and then just stick to it, makes me question whether this is like, you know, I'm losing my mind or not. Uh, and I realize that I have reasons to want to see myself as a man, and I might have reasons to want to see myself as a woman. Uh, it could be that seeing myself as a woman is preferable to seeing myself as a loser man. Like a man who just sucks at being a man. Uh, at least sexually and or even socially. uh, because that was one of the things that I thought, in the beginning. I think from the beginning, because I saw that in a movie once. It was a movie about trans. I want to say Wesley Snipes and John Travolta were in it. I'm not sure about that. There were some big name people in it. I remember that. And it was about trans, or maybe they were drag queens or just transvestites. I'm not sure. I don't know that it's that important, but they were basically dressing as women in the movie. And there was a scene where one of them says to the other, you just can't accept that you're a failure as a man. Basically saying that you're not a woman, you're a man, and you just failed at being a man. So it's, basically saying that it's preferable for you to see yourself as a woman than to see yourself as a failed man. And this is one of the things that I don't know if it's because of that, but when I started going through this, there were times when I thought that I prefer to see myself as a woman, or to see that being a woman is the reason why I failed, right? Because if I am a failure, then I need a reason why, right? It can't just be that I'm just flawed, right? Or weak or lame or whatever, handicapped. But there's got to be some other noble justification. What could be more noble than being a woman? I don't know. Uh, but yeah, I guess I better start getting ready. But does it suffice to say that I question my sanity going through this? There are times when I think, what the fuck am I doing? What I feel like I can be certain of is that there's something beneficial to this overall. I do feel like if I look back over the last 9 years since I started doing this, I would say the overall kind of trajectory has been a positive one. That I do feel more like I can withstand attacks against my self-image, and I do feel more like I have a little bit better sense of what I want. Uh, so there are times when I see myself as a man. There are times when I see myself as a woman. And when I say see myself as a woman, I mean like in the mental image that I have of myself is one of a woman, or at least of a tranny, because I do like the idea of having a penis. I like the idea of having a penis. I don't know if that's, you know, because I'm just afraid to get rid of it. But I think this is one of the reasons. The penis is one of the reasons why I think it is such a difficult thing for me to. This is a scary path to walk for me. This is me walking, right? This is my hand. My hand is walking. It is a scary path to walk because there is the. I think if not for the penis, I think I would not have the problem with this that I do. Uh, like when my friend tells me, "Yeah, if you were rich, you'd be getting your dick cut off," and I'm like, "No, no. Why are you saying that?" Uh, is that my true desire? Is my true desire to have a vagina? Uh, this might be one of the reasons why I can't accept this, or why I have trouble seeing this. Maybe somewhere inside of me is this buried desire to have a soft, sweet, sugary vagina. That men are like, oh my god, oh my god, that is the sweetest vagina I've ever had. Ah, you know that it's possible that I still hold the possibility that that is a desire that's somewhere hidden inside of me, and I don't want to see it because I kind of like my penis. I kind of do. Uh, but it is a frustrating thing for me to go through. I'm kind of like, why does it take so long? For one, is it just that I spent 30 plus years of my life seeing myself as a man and trying to live up to an image of man? That it's just like trying to get what's trying to. I'm like trying to push a cow who just doesn't want to move. Oh me. Uh, that little bit of beer, I swear, is already affecting me. Now I'm done. The can is empty. There we go. Now I can forget about it. Or will I have to go buy more? I have to go to work here in a couple hours. Or an hour. Is it an hour? I think I have about an hour now. Uh, yeah, I don't know how else to put it. Uh, I think one of the things that I think is that identity is a problem for a lot of people. I think that people who are opposed to trans are opposed because of the problem of identity. That most people live in the darkness of identity, which is to say that they don't see themselves clearly. They have adopted an image, maybe that they feel like protects them. They are protected by their image, you might say, or they are beholden to their image. And this is why they don't like trans, because if trans is real, then their image could be wrong. It could be that the reason I grew my beard and lifted weights at the gym was because I wanted to hide the fact that I was a woman. Uh, you know, how many men out there go to the gym every day and grow their beard out to be a big bushy thing and wear t-shirts with rifles on them because they're trying to hide the fact that what they want is this sweet, soft pussy that a man can put his big dick in and get his greatest pleasure. Is it possible for a man to have that desire? Could a man be born with desires like a woman? Could a man be born with the desire to have a vagina? Because maybe he's just a sweetheart. He feels like he's just made of pure sugar. He's like, I just want to be sugar. I just want to be sugar to somebody. I want somebody to put their dick in me and just be like, oh my God, you are so sweet. I don't think that's insanity. I think it's possible for a man to have a woman's desires, for a man to want to be pretty, for a man to want to be a sexual slave, to be a submissive sissy. Mm, Uh, I don't think that's insanity. What the hard part for me is saying that's what I am. Saying I see this in myself and that's what I am. This is where I question my sanity. It's not so much that I don't question whether a man can want what a woman wants. I question whether I want it or not. Right. Uh, Now, some people are going to watch that and say, "Oh, you think all women want to be submissive sissies with sweet, soft vaginas?" That's not true. I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. But I think I've said enough. It's time for me to go. I have to eat my lunch before I go to work.